name is Karen Kuhn. I'm the Executive Director of the College of DuPage Foundation, and I am so excited to have you all together in one room after 3 years of Zoom and phone calls and what have you. So our last scholarship reception was in 2019, if you can believe it. I know some of our donors experienced it, some of our scholars as well, though this may be your first time, and you are in for a treat. And I just want to welcome you here. Thank you for coming. Thank you for what you do. This event, I think, is one of the most inspiring that we do that really helps propel me throughout the year. It is the stories of our students and our donors. Everyone has a story to share, and so we're excited that we'll be together today to share those stories amongst each other. So I'm not going to say much, but I do want to introduce the president of the Foundation Board of Directors, Derek Madsen, to welcome you here today. So thank you.
Good morning, everyone. If I step back a little bit, it's because I forgot my readers. So you're going to all hopefully forgive me, and some of you understand exactly what I'm talking about. So good morning, welcome to the 2020 Scholarship Celebration. As Karen mentioned, it's been a while since we've done this, so it's really my pleasure to be here. This is one of my favorite events. I'll echo Karen's thoughts to do and to celebrate. It's when we connect, obviously, scholarship recipients to donors, and then be able to share the story of what we were able to achieve together. Sitting among us today are future physicians, nurses, bioengineers, automotive technicians, marketing professionals, educators, scientists, innovators, entrepreneurs, and visionaries. While the group of scholarship recipients defies attempts to describe them in any simple terms, they are unified by their drive, their determination, and their desire to make something great of their lives. The chosen investment that our board and scholarship donors have made not only creates a better future for them, but obviously for our community. Before we get started, we've got a few groups that we would like to welcome and introduce to you. Special thanks to our sponsor, Follett's Bookstore, for their support of this celebration, and our students here at the College of DuPage. Thanks to the College of DuPage Board of Trustees and senior executives for joining us today. If they could please stand and be recognized. We're going to just clap. There we go, Board of Trustees. Finally, the scholarship program would not be a success without the many College of DuPage faculty and staff members who assist in reviewing scholarships and working so hard to place students in touch with these scholarship opportunities. Those folks, can you please stand and be recognized? Hopefully a bigger number. College of DuPage staff, come on. We love you all. It's your passion and collaborative partnership with the foundation that has allowed us the privilege to inspire many of our donors here today to invest in our mission. Again, thank you for joining us. Those are a lot of the prepared remarks. Karen helped me with the remarks. There was a part that she put in that says, consider putting in a reflection about what it means as a foundation board member or volunteer. So that's the insert here part. For those in the audience that don't know, the foundation is comprised of volunteers. And so for what it means for us to be foundation board members, it's today. This is what it means to us. Right? Today is why we do what we do. Today is truly what it means to be part of a community. I personally love a good quote. I probably opened too many essays with quotes. And I was looking for one. I thought this would be a great time to place a quote or two. And I looked for quotes around giving, but they were just too much about the act of giving. I looked about receiving, and again, they felt very sided. So I found quotes about community, because that's what this is about. It's about community. So I'm going to read a couple that I thought would be appropriate for today. The greatness of a community is most accurately measured by the compassion actions of its members. The next one is, I am of the opinion that my life belongs to the whole community, and as long as I live it, it is my privilege to do for it whatever I can. I want to be thoroughly used up when I die, for the harder I work, the more I live. The last one is, one of the marvelous things about community is that it enables us to welcome and help people in a way we couldn't as individuals. When we pool our strength and share the work and responsibility, we can welcome many people, even those in deep distress, and perhaps help them find self-confidence and inner healing. I think that those are great lead-ins for the man who's responsible for this great community. I'm pleased to introduce President Dr. Brian Caputo, the true champion for student success. Please welcome me and joining Dr. Caputo to the stage.
Derek, thank you so much. We are so fortunate to have you as the Foundation Board President. I'm looking forward to working with you for the next many years, many years. Thank you all for being with us here today. It's a pleasure attending an event that really celebrates dreams. While a community college is more accessible and affordable to a wider population than, say, your average university, it still can be out of reach for many. Prospective students who struggle daily to make ends meet or whose families cannot afford to pay the tuition oftentimes decide to postpone education or, worse, not pursue it at all. And that's why the work of the College of DuPage Foundation is so important. By partnering with the many generous donors, and many of them are here today, of scholarship funding, we can help students of all ages, and we at College of DuPage, we really do have a wide variety of students, achieve what they may once have thought was unattainable, and that is a college education. I first want to thank all of the donors, because it's with your generosity that students are enrolled at COD pursuing their dreams of higher education. Next, I want to thank the College of DuPage Foundation and its executive board. I go to your meetings, I know of your work, I know that you work tirelessly on behalf of our students. And I'm so proud of what you are doing, what you have done, and what I know we're going to continue to do. And to the scholarship recipients, I say congratulations. By applying for a scholarship, you showed belief in yourself and your commitment to the future. Use this opportunity today of being together to continue to dream big. Today's event really demonstrates how we can all work together to support student success, and that is really the central tenet of what we're doing at College of DuPage, trying to help students get to whatever they believe is their ultimate goal. And for those of you who have considered donating, I encourage you to do so and join us in this important work. Your donation, no matter the size, will make a positive impact on a student's life. We simply can't do it without you. And College of DuPage is just very proud to have all of you here today. And again, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Dr. Caputo. The foundation is proud of the support that we're able to provide to College of DuPage and the more than 500 students served annually through the generosity of others. Many of you are in this room. And that's really why we're here today. The morning's all about you. It's our students and our donors. Over the course of this morning, you'll be hearing about the impact that your kindness and generosity has had on our students, both current and past. I also want to share that we will be offering an opportunity for audience reflections later in the program. Anyone who wishes to share their thoughts will have an opportunity to say a few words near the end of the program. We'd love to hear from you, so please consider sharing part of your story with us. To start our student segment, it is my pleasure to introduce the current student, John Belushi Second City Scholar, Rowan Brandon. Please welcome Rowan to the podium.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you. It might seem really cliche to say, but truly, I have always wanted to be an actor. When I was younger, like around middle school, I was obsessed with the film The Blues Brothers. Like, I wanted to be Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi. Like, I ate dry white toast, and I shook my tail feather, though I could never stomach 4 fried chickens and a Coke. So you could have imagined my excitement when I learned that the scholarship I received was the scholarship of John Belushi's namesake. Now, since that time, I found many other actors that I've looked up to and aspired to be like. Some of them are my peers at COD. Some of them are my teachers who I've been blessed to be taught by. One of them is my partner. who I met at COD. And now I don't really believe in like a fate or destiny or purpose, but sometimes it really does feel like I was meant to come to COD. My mother went to COD before me and was taught by the same professors that I'm taught by now. The decision to come to COD came at a time in my life fraught with pain and disappointment and anxiety. I was in a toxic relationship and I was ready to run away to California to be with her, go to this non-accredited school for acting that was so expensive. And then one day, like, our relationship went sideways and I just kind of realized that that was a bad idea. And so I made the decision, after a lot of my mom's pushing and prodding, to come to COD. And this college for me has come to mean home. I mean, I'm there from like 8 in the morning to 11 o'clock at night some days. It's almost like I live there. You know, it's come to mean community for me, and it's come to mean hope. I never knew I would meet people who love me this much and care about my success so much, and sometimes it's really scary to me how much I love all of them. I never knew how willing people would be to cast a trans man in romantic lead roles and trust me to be the man that they needed. This scholarship has freed me to study things that have given me life skills that I'll treasure for the rest of my life. Not just in theater, but I've learned how to sew, I've learned how to do stage makeup, I've learned so much about music and literature and philosophy. My friends kind of compare me to Baljeet from Phineas and Ferb because I'm excited for school, and I always push myself to get A's. But it's true, I'm just always excited to learn. And I would like to take a moment to highlight some faculty members who helped me get here. My theater professors, Amelia Barrett and Connie Kennedy Howard, and Daniel Milhouse, who isn't here. My English professor, Dr. James Allen. My employer, teacher, and MAC staff member, Kimberly Morris. She is head of the costume shop, and without any of those people, I wouldn't be the person I am today. Thank you to some of my other professors, Dr. Havens, Dr. Chow, Dr. Gray. They have always supported me and made me feel like I deserve to be here. My parents, who've always stood by me even when things are tough. And of course, my partner, who I love so much, and my fellow scholarship recipient, Vinny. And now, I would like to introduce to you an alum, a former scholarship recipient, and COD's outstanding graduate for 2022, Bonnie Bailey, to share her story.
Good morning. Can you hear me okay? All right. I'm thrilled to be here, surrounded by two of my favorite topics, scholarships and breakfast. Time is our most precious resource, and I want to thank each of you for indulging me the next few minutes to share a brief snapshot of my academic journey here at College of DuPage. My name is Bonnie, and I am a college graduate. This is only the second time in my life I have spoken these 5 words in public. And it took me almost 50 years to say them at all. So these 5 words are a really huge deal to me. However, these words were made possible by another series of words that came into my life a few years ago. Congratulations, you've won a scholarship. So what happened in the time between these 2 powerful statements? Great question, I'm glad you asked. Recording artist Fergie sings a lyric that I love. Fairy tales don't always have happy endings, now do they? We in the halftime zone call that life. Life happens in the midst of fairy tales or dreams. When I was 18, I came to College of DuPage and received my GED. I was excited. Next, I popped into the little office supply store downtown Wheaton and I bought myself a brand new electric typewriter. So I could go off to college in Indiana and chase my dream or my fairy tale. That first semester at college, I received a call that my father was dying and needed a kidney. Life. I left my dream and went to Baylor in Dallas and gave a kidney to my dad at age 19. I am so pleased to share today that my dad and our kidney are still with us today, 30 years later. That was a great life investment. During that time, I met Prince Charming and decided, I should marry him and then go back to college. Knock, knock. Who's there? Motherhood and life calling. Fast forward 20 plus years and 4 children later, I recognized that my carefully constructed fairy tale was once again beginning to unravel. Divorce is brutal. How is a 45-year-old woman going to start all over again? How was I going to show up in the world, and who was I going to be now? I had no idea, and I was terrified. So I shook the Etch-a-Sketch of my life, and I came back to start again with what I knew, the College of DuPage. Except in raising 4 beautiful children, there was no college fund for mom. I went down to the local Tex-Mex restaurant and begged them to hire me. I started serving tables to pay for classes, and honestly, it was one of the hardest things I had ever done. And I did not do it well at all. I struggled to adjust to this digital learning era. I dropped classes, I failed, I even quit. I grappled with how to balance my job while applying myself to learning my academics plus overwhelming technology. I could only afford 1 to 2 classes per semester while working my job. By my calculations and the rate at which I was dropping classes, it would take me 8 years to get an associate degree. At my age, it's a long time. I was placed on academic suspension, and I wondered, am I crazy for thinking I could come back and earn a degree after all this time? Fairy tales don't always have happy endings, now do they? But most fairy tales do have a hero that comes in and changes the storyline. And congratulations, you've won a scholarship. Turns into, don't quit, keep going. You've got this. Believe in yourself, focus, and accelerate. After I dried my disbelieving happy tears in the bathroom stall upon reading my scholarship announcement, I got busy becoming a student of excellence. I traded my serving job for a more stable schedule as an administrative assistant. I enrolled as a full-time student and retook my dropped and failed classes. I raised my GPA to a 4.0 and gained membership into Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society. When I received word that I had been awarded, the non-traditional outstanding graduate of 2022, I knew that I did not stand alone. Every scholarship donor had played a heroic part in changing my storyline. My question to all of us here today is, what part will you and I play in making a positive impact in someone else's story? Whether it's a kind word, a listening ear, a cup of coffee, time equity, or a scholarship. Life happens in the midst of dreams, and we all need one another. Because of the power of scholarships, dreams can still come true in the midst of life. I know this because I am a college graduate. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening to both of our stories. We would like to take the opportunity to turn the microphone over to you to share your story. I'm looking forward to all that you have to say and share with us. Oh, good. Here we go. Perfect.
Hello, my name is Nikki Spencer, and I'm in the radiography program at College of DuPage. I am also a non-traditional student, much like Bonnie. I returned to college after a really long time of working and not being able to afford college and thinking that I was too old to ever go back. I quit my job to join the radiography program. It's a full-time program, and without the generosity of the COD Foundation and my family, I just don't know how I'd do it. Currently standing here with a 4.0 GPA, and and it's only because of the foundation that I can focus on things like physics and image production and patient care without worrying about how to afford to continue my education. And knowing that when I graduate in 2024, that I will have been able to do it without a ton of loans and starting way behind the starting line, having to make up that money really makes me excited and proud to be a COD student. And thank you so much for all your generosity. You know, you help so many students all the time, and it is an honor of mine to call myself a COD student.
Thank you. That is inspiring. We'll go to this side next.
Good morning. My name's Keith Allen. I'm one of those board members that didn't stand up. Sorry, Derek. There's a ton of us around here that didn't, though. So, but I just wanted to tell you why I'm a board member. When I was younger, my brother, who didn't have good grades, right, found a football home at College of DuPage, and then found a college degree, and then went to the Marines and stayed there for almost 25 years. Became a Chief Warrant Officer 4, which is like the highest rank you can get without being an actual officer. When I was I was at a 500-person law firm, and I was like drowning, right? You'd be surprised the classes they have here at COD. I took a time management, project management course for even like half a semester. We worked it out, and gosh, that saved my legal career. My wife, in 2008, she opened up a daycare, and when she went into the center, she came here for all of her credits. And my daughter, who's now at University of Miami doing nursing, she's going to be taking her regular requirements here, so she can try to take off a semester at the school. That's $20,000 saved, right? So I was born and raised in Wheaton, and I will tell you that this place has been a part of our lives, and everybody on the board has a different story, right? And we all really do care about this place right here, because we know how it changes lives. My brother never would have been where he was. My wife never, maybe she would have, but it would have been a much, much worse of a struggle. I don't know where I would have been. So thank you all for all the donors for helping us out. Thank you very, very much. Thank you to all the students who continue to come here and make this a wonderful place to be. And thank you to all the board members and everybody and the president of the college. Thank you so much. Take care.
Hi, my name is Kathleen Hankus. I am a recipient of a scholarship. I am also returning to school late in life. I initially started off in nursing right out of high school. I definitely was not ready. I wasted a lot of my parents' money and time, took it for granted. Never thought I'd get back. I developed addiction, 27 years. I'll be 50 soon. 27 years of addiction that could have stolen my entire life. It gave me a lot of barriers. I got sober again in 2018 and decided to try and go back to work with people that had given me so much. I'm new to College of DuPage in this area, but I had a former teacher that was involved in a recovery environment I was in that kind of said, you could start there. And I did, and for the first time in my life, I am a 4.0 GPA. I started off with a couple classes while my daughter was in a couple classes, and she just moved to Florida, so we are both in school at the same time. She's a pastor down in Orlando. The hurricane was her welcome, and she's proud of her mom today. So I am grateful for the opportunity of the scholarship. I'm kind of new to DuPage. I grew up in Kane County, A relationship has brought me to Wheaton for the last 5 years, and I have the opportunity to do scholarship or to do school full-time, but I'm not his responsibility yet. So taking the gears in both hands, this scholarship has provided me the avenue to go all the way to being a college graduate soon. I transferred to Aurora University in the fall, and I had never aspired to get an associate, more or less a bachelor's, and now I anticipate going all the way through to my master's in social work with addictions course. So thank you for your generosity.
My name is Matthew Januszewski. I'm in the culinary hospitality program. I feel like I started a little later in life with my career choice, but to be honest, I feel like it was just right on time. So I'm here because I'm the recipient of 2 scholarships, one from George Mock Culinary Challenge, and then the Kathy Testa Memorial Culinary Challenge as well. So basically, I'm here to just say thank you to all the donors for everything, and then I'm also here to encourage my peers, to encourage all the other peers, at school who didn't try out for scholarships, that they have nothing to lose, and that, there's always something to gain from these, whether it's just knowledge, scholarship, or a wonderful breakfast like today. So, so yeah, thank you, everybody. I appreciate everything you're doing for everybody. It's amazing. And I really think that the culinary program's really gonna set me up for life. So, thank you.
Hello, my name is Rose Madison. My son is actually a recipient of a scholarship. However, he wasn't able to get off from work today to make it to the breakfast. However, he did write a speech because he was ready to thank everybody. So I'm gonna read his speech, and then I'll have a couple mom reflections to give at the end. And then I also left my readers at home too, so I'm looking through long distance glasses. Good morning. My name is John Madison. I am honored to be one of the recipients of the College of DuPage Foundation Scholarship. I am pursuing an Associate of Applied Science degree in Automotive Service Technology and a certification in Automotive Service Management. Upon declaring my major in the Automotive Studies as COD, I have experienced an overabundance of assistance from the instructors. Their encouragement and direction has convinced me that this is the field where I belong. I was diagnosed at an early age with a learning disability. I received many educational resources to make sure that I kept my educational progress up to par with my classmates. I am very proud of the progress I've made and haven't received any resources since elementary school. Even though learning new things has been challenging for me, I've never let it stop me from doing my best. I work hard and study long hours to pass my classes. I saw a poster somewhere that read, "When life gets harder, challenge yourself to be stronger." And that's what I have done. I love working with my hands, and the automotive industry gives me the ability to use my hands to help others. I am so fortunate to have a strong family to support my goals. I am from a single parent household, but that doesn't stop my mom from being my greatest ally, She makes sure I have whatever I need to be successful, even if that means she works extra hours and extra days. I'm sorry, this is the first time I've read this. I'm so sorry. Receiving this scholarship means she doesn't have to work as hard to help me. My mom means everything to me. I hope to be able to do more to help her once I complete my associate's degree. I am very appreciative for being chosen as a recipient. It is with great honor that I accept this scholarship, and I hope to continue rendering service to others through my life as a master mechanic in the automotive industry. Thank you. As a mom, I can only say thank you because it does make things easier on me with whatever help he gets, whether it's 1 penny or 100 pennies. It does help, and I just want to say from a mom's point of view, thank you so much for all that you guys at COD, teachers, instructors, administrators, everybody, have done to help my son with his education. Thank you so much.
Okay, so hi, I'm Elizabeth Burbrick. I'm a full-time student with a part-time job, and I was homeschooled my whole life. So COD was the first public school class that I'd ever taken, and I'm a perfectionist, so I was freaking out on how I was gonna keep up with a 4.0 GPA, but I've been able to do that since I've received scholarships and been able to not work as much, so thank you.
My name is Monica Boyer. I am the recipient of the Ellen Watts Scholarship. Now that scholarship is for single parents. I'm also here as a student, but as well as a mother. My daughter was going to Carthage University and the pandemic hit. I could not afford it any longer. I was looking for classes for her to go to COD. When I discovered that I too can go to COD, the HERF grant was available. And for those that do not know, that is the scholarship that was given to the government where you can just take classes as well and try to get your education. So there was full steam ahead for me. I wanted to continue to go on with my education. However, Sarah is my first love, and I did not know how I was going to do that. With the Ellen Watts Scholarship, I was able to do that. Now here's a little history about Sarah. I graduated in 1992, so I am a non-traditional student. Upon that graduation, my parents told me that I could not go to Iowa State University because they did not have the funds to get me there. So I was crushed. I worked a lot of blue-collar jobs, and I just worked and worked, and I was just upset that I could not go to college, therefore I gave up my dreams. 8 years later, I decided that I wanted to go back to school. City Colleges of Chicago was that avenue. Once I decided to go to that school, there was a little baby by the name of Sarah. Her mother was a substance abuser, and she needed a home. I became her guardian ad litem. I exhausted savings. I asked family, I asked friends so that I can be her mom. So for 20 years, I have been Sarah's mother. I have had her here at College of DuPage with myself. We have taken classes together. We have challenged one another. And if there was in a heartbeat that I could not go to school and only she could, I would definitely do that sacrifice for her. With the Ellen Watts Scholarship, that allowed me, as well as Sarah, to go to college together and have classes together. And I want to thank College of DuPage, and I want to thank all of the donors for having me here. And I appreciate your generosity and your time for listening to me. And I want you guys to have an awesome morning. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Gianna Biebergall, and I am a 19-year-old student. Now, please bear with me because I did not plan to be speaking today. But in 2019, I experienced the onset of some chronic health problems. I was a sophomore in high school, and unfortunately, by the beginning of 2020, I was unable to attend school in person due to my health. I decided to leave public schooling, and I had to start from the beginning of high school online. I decided to homeschool myself. I had incomplete credits. My transcripts basically meant nothing. So I had to start over. Within 4 months of being sick, all I had to do basically was doctor's appointments and school. So I cracked down, dedicated myself to my education, and graduated in May of 2020. Well, thank you. While that was a major success and I was very proud of it, it just so happened that was also the year that my older brother was graduating, which meant in August 2020 was his first year of college as well. My parents had not planned to send me to college that year, so there were not very many funds available for me. By my second semester of college, I had finally received the emails about the Scholarship Foundation, and I said, wow, that's really amazing. I didn't even know that was something I had access to. So I started applying, and lo and behold, I ended up receiving scholarships. So for the past year and a half now, I've been applying, and thanks to our gracious donors, I have been able to continue my education at COD while my brother is also in college now. So thank you to everybody, the donors and the foundation, for making this possible.
Hi, good morning. My name is Luz Rojas, and I'm sorry for my English. My first language is Spanish. I want to say aloud thank you to COD because they've been my house for a long time. When I come to this country, I don't speak English. Like you know, my English is still not very well, but at least I'm available to communicate with everyone. When I started in the College of DuPage, obviously I don't speak English at all, and I went to my first classes for ESL, and I founded a house for me, of friends, because in my class we are people for 14 different countries learning English, and it was really fun because we share a lot of dreams. And I remember the name of my first teacher, Becky. And she said, why when I come to the class is silence? And when I outside, everybody's talking, laughing, share, and look like no problem to understand each other, even everybody speak different language. And I think it's because when somebody open hearts to say, come, we are in the same boat, you feel it. And this is how I feel in the College of DuPage. After that, I went and I take my GED. Now I'm in human services, and thank you to all my teachers, because not only are they great teachers, but they are great advocates. Always talk to us, share with us how they are in the community, help each other. And today I'm here because Naperville Woman Club awarded me with a scholarship. Thank you so much. And thank you to COD for all what you do with people like me, immigrants, come from all over the world, and we trying to learn first language, when our first language is not English, and trying to be ahead. I have 3 kids. My older one is 30. She graduated from St. Olaf because she have a full scholarship when it happened. My second one, they don't was so lucky because she had a hard time to be in the school, but she was the 2 first years in the College of DuPage. After that, she went to South Illinois University, and next Monday, she will graduate for her master's degree in business, and she worked for Microsoft. For me, be a mom when they don't speak English and different culture was hard, because I remember my oldest one say, Mom, I feel embarrassed because you always speak Spanish with me, and you blessing me after taking the bus. And they say, why you mom always say, God blessing you, and say, well, you know, it's what it is. And in my neighborhood, I have a nice neighbors, but in the first funeral I went together, one of my neighbors said, you know what, Luz, when you come to our neighborhood, was so weird how you step out of the house and you say, Juliet, Tiffany, and everybody run in and say, when we're looking for our kids and we don't find it, and just you say aloud the names and run. And I say, I'm sorry, I never thinking I'm so loud, the only one in the neighborhood to call my kids. So, but thank God, after to live in this country for many years, I learned the culture, I learned the language, and I feel so grateful to United States and this community for the opportunity you give it to me to continue with my school. Thank you.
Thank you. We have time for a couple more, and Luis, you're on.
Okay, thank you. First of all, I just want to say that listening to everybody's stories is something that really inspires me. As a first-generation student that, I didn't really get that experience from knowing what to do in college. Everything was completely new to me. And I'm proud of everybody's story. I believe that everybody has such a unique story in their journey here, pursuing their education. And I just want to say that it's never too late to pursue an education. And I'm proud of every single one of you that has come up to say your story. And even those of you that are sitting down and didn't come up and say your story, I'm proud of you too, because it's definitely a difficult situation to be put in a variety of different obstacles when you're trying to pursue your dreams. So thank you for that. But as far as my own journey, as a first-generation student, of course, a lot of these things were new to me, and paying for college is something that was new to me too. But thankfully, because of scholarships, I did not have to worry about, working to pay for my college. Like something that I told myself straight out of high school is that I wasn't gonna put that burden on my parents to pay for college. I was gonna find a way to do that myself. And well, fortunately, I have gotten, the opportunity to get a variety of different scholarships through Student Life, through, study abroad scholarships, and a variety of different, sponsors and support from a lot of amazing people on campus. And it ultimately helped me get my culinary arts degree and now pursue an Associate of Arts, so eventually I can transfer and pursue all the other dreams that, I want to pursue. But also, not being able to, or not having to work has really given me a lot of free time as far as my involvement at the college. And my student involvements is something that I'm really proud of, something that I really take a lot of pride in. And it's, something that has got me to meet a lot of different people, a lot of amazing people, like Tamara over here from admissions, Brian from marketing, and Bonnie over there from hospitality. And I remember, Bonnie, she mentioned that one of her accomplishments was being part of PTK and Phi Theta Kappa. And I remember one time I am the president of our Phi Theta Kappa chapter here at the college. And I remember one day during one of our meetings, Bonnie shows up in one of our meetings, and she was really interested in how to be part of Phi Theta Kappa and was just so interested in getting into the chapter. So I emailed her and I worked with her to get into Phi Theta Kappa. And her story is something that really inspires me so much, because I was part of that story. And not just that, like, I see her success now. When I graduated my culinary arts degree last semester, seeing Bonnie up there telling her story and just knowing that I connected with somebody, not knowing how impactful their story was and how many obstacles they had to go through, it's really inspiring in my own journey. And everybody's journey is unique, everybody's journey is amazing, and I'm excited to see who the next outstanding graduate is going to be, who the next person to go past their boundaries and go past their obstacles to get their degree is going to be. And there's a lot of you in here that are going to be those people. So thank you.
I'm Everard Garcia. I'm a scholar recipient at the College of DuPage, and I'm currently studying for a motion picture television degree. I love movies a lot. I'm a Christopher Nolan fan. He directed The Dark Knight, and it's that movie where I inspired to become a filmmaker. And before I attended COD, I went to Lions Township High School. I founded a classroom called LTTV, Lions Township Television. And that one class and that one teacher named Mr. Allen, he helped me to get to here, to find the love for filmmaking. And it's very hard to be as a first generation student and as a Hispanic to study in a television degree, but my teacher really helped me a lot to get here, and especially my parents who sacrificed for me and gave me all the things that I wouldn't be here today. Plus the donors too, they really they donate to all to the students who they really need for the scholarship. And I remember my counselor from Lions Township High School telling me that there's a lot of donors who are giving out money and putting them right there in the basket, but no one's grabbing them, no one's applying them. And telling me that not a lot of people are grabbing that money and apply for them because you earned that scholarship. And it's a little bit hard right now because of the pandemic, but it was the right time to apply for the scholarships. And thank God I'm taking a full ride at COD, which is a blessing. And next year, I'm going to go to Columbia College, Chicago, to get my filmmaking degree, and then start working at the, work for Universal or something like that, NBC, I don't know. Yeah, so, it's, also I love independent movies and stuff, and without COD. And I feel like without COD, I wouldn't be here because COD has a motion picture television program. Not a lot of community colleges have that. And the one locally here is just amazing. About to direct my second short film, which is going to be amazing. And I hope we had a great time. And yeah, that's it. Yeah, thank you.
Hello, my name is Helene Kaha. I stand here today as a former College of DuPage graduate and as a donor. Why as a donor? Because I was born and raised in Cameroon, West Africa, and I had a dream to become a nurse. I didn't know where the money would come from, where I'd become that nurse. But God had a plan, and I landed in America, not speaking English at all. I spoke French, and I just went to COD because there was this big dream in me, and I couldn't stop it. And I said I had to start somewhere, and I went to COD. And even with my little English that I learned from watching cartoons and Barney, the instructors were willing to listen to me. They were willing to help me. And I found that very fascinating. And I learned English, and I moved on. I had associate degree in art, associate degree in applied science, and I moved on with my bachelor degree in nursing with 4.0 GPA at Benedictine University. So when I received the letter about scholarship, it was a right thing to do to help another student, because all these wonderful instructors invested in me, and I felt the need to invest in another student, and it was a right thing to do. And I'm so blessed that I'm here to even see your beautiful faces. And I'm here to remind you that don't let anybody steal what God is in you. Before you were born, you had it. And your future is bright, your future is big. Don't let anybody steal it. All you have to do is put yourself to work and believe in one God, and He will unfold you into such a beautiful life you never dream of. And I'm here to thank COD for what COD have done for me. Because when I started, I didn't even know what I was doing. But COD made it happen to me. COD made me feel like a human being. When I get up in the morning, I say, thank you, COD. I dance like a little girl because COD gave me opportunity. And I also thank this beautiful country, because where I was born, I couldn't have that financial support to go to school. I couldn't have the support of all the instructors. So even being here in America, it was a blessing. So I thank you so much, and may the Lord bless you in every single dream you want to do, and you go and get it and make us proud. Thank you.
Thank you all for sharing your stories. We appreciate your authenticity. I'm inspired. Is anyone else in here inspired? And to wrap up our event, please welcome the Vice President of Institutional Advancement, Walter Johnson, to the podium.
Well, that was amazing. Inspiring, incredible. And I feel honored to have an opportunity to play a small role. I understand very clearly that at this moment, you've heard some amazing stories, some incredible triumphs, some gifts that have turned into futures for people who didn't believe they would have one. And knowing that, I better be pretty good, especially since I stand between you and the door. Okay. Whether I am or not, I do want to take a moment to clarify something. So throughout the morning, people have been saying to me, oh, this is wonderful, nice job. I want to be really clear. This morning, the organization of it, the planning of it, doesn't happen without our executive director of our foundation, Karen Kuhn. So let's give her a round of applause. And I have the great honor and pleasure of working with her and some incredible staff members from our institutional advancement staff. I also know that there's about 12 foundation board members in the room. You guys didn't stand up, but I see you. I know you're here. And I also understand your volunteer work makes a big difference. I want to share a person's name with you because this person has something in common with each one of you. The name is Jan Baumgartner. Now, most of you are like, no historic, relevance. What's the big deal? Remember the name. I'm going to tell you a quick story, and then we will wrap up. Most of you who have heard me speak before know I'm one of 11. I have 10 brothers and sisters. And so the idea of going to college and having my parents pay for it wasn't an option. And I was the first one that was interested in going to college. So I got a visit from a college recruiter when I was in high school, and it was from North Central College. I got really excited. It's the first time I thought, wow, I could actually go to college. There's a college interested in me. This is good. And I was a decent student. I had some accolades, but nobody was going to give me a big scholarship to pay for everything, and it wasn't coming from home. And I made a deal with my dad that if I could come up with the first semester and he could pay for the second semester, that maybe that would be a deal and we could figure it out and I could go to college. And he added a caveat. He said, well, you're going to have to you have to find money for your books too. So if you can find money for your books and you can come up with one semester, I'll pay for the second semester. But that's all I can do for you, Walter. That's all. For 4 years, that's all I'm going to be able to do. Fine. So that summer, I worked a full-time job. I did double shifts. I took up a part-time job because I really, really thought this could happen. But I only saved enough money to pay for one semester, and the deal was one semester in books. I didn't have the money for books. So that kind of meant that dream was going to be deferred. So I just kind of left myself with the understanding I'm going to be working. I'll work hard like my dad, but college may or may not be an option. I'll never forget this. The Thursday before classes were supposed to start at North Central College, I got a call from Jan Baumgartner. And she said, hey, I noticed that you didn't come to the summer orientation. Are you still planning on coming to college? I said, I want to, but I don't have enough money for books. So it looks like I'm going to have to put it off. And she said, well, we have book scholarships. Great. Hung up the phone. Dad got home from work. Dad, I got money for books. You do? Yeah, they got scholarships. She didn't say I could have the scholarship. So I pack up, get ready to go. This is Thursday. My dad takes me up to North Central College, drops me off on a Sunday. I start freshman orientation that weekend. No, it was Saturday. I go through freshman orientation. I start classes on Monday. I applied for the scholarship that Monday. I got the book scholarship. Okay. Wait. I had seen Jan off and on over the years, and after having a short, pretty successful stint in private industry, I decided to go back and become a college admissions counselor. And so I worked for 20 years in higher education, most of that, well, part of that as a college admission counselor, recruiting kids from inner city Chicago, rural Michigan, and Indiana, and Ohio, from families who these kids were going to be first generation, from places where the only option they had was to go to work. And I would show up and say, yeah, you can do it, you can do it. And these kids would come, and I'd find scholarship money for them from donors like you in the room. Fast forward 40 plus years, those kids, those 18-year-olds are now doctors and lawyers and business executives and great moms and dads, and some of them are now grandparents because some of them are in their 50s. 3 weeks ago, I ran into Jan Baumgartner at an alumni event at North Central College. And I now had this lens that I could view my life through and the impact that I had had through the grace of God on the individuals around me. And so I decided at that moment to go up to the table that she was sitting at under the tent, and I said, hey, Jan, hey, Walter, Her husband's sitting there with her. I said, I want to tell you something. I don't know if you ever remember this. You remember you called me on a Thursday to talk to me about whether or not I was coming to college? And she just kind of looked at me, looked at her husband, was like, not really. I don't remember. I said, yeah, you called me up and you said, hey, are you still coming to North Central? And I said, no, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to come because I don't have money for books. And you said to me, there's scholarship money for books. And I decided, yeah, I told my dad I got a scholarship, and he believed me, and I came to North Central and wound up with the scholarship. And I said, what you need to know is you changed my life. But I got to tell you something that's more important than that. And this is how you all, you donors, and the individuals receiving scholarships and what's going to happen in your life moving forward is compared to Jan Baumgartner. I said to her, I said, it wasn't that you changed my life. 6 of my younger brothers and sisters wound up going to college and graduating because their older brother got a chance to go. And I got a chance to interact with hundreds of kids who didn't think college was an option. And because I had a chance to interact with them and find scholarships for them, they now have kids in college and came from places where college wasn't an option. I said, Jan, you didn't change just my life. You changed hundreds of lives. And she was sitting there shaking, and her husband grabbed her, and she starts bawling, and I didn't expect that. I just wanted her to know what the impact really was, and she just crying and shaking, and her husband says to me, the hairs are standing up on my arms, and I've got goosebumps. I said, I just wanted you to know that it wasn't just one life. Ladies and gentlemen, we all have an opportunity to change the world. But when we think of how big the world is, we can't put our arms around that as a possibility. So don't think of it that way. Think if your scholarship, donor, if your scholarship changes one life, that life will touch hundreds. And if we keep doing this collectively, we will change the world. And that's what we celebrate this morning. God bless.